Hey there everyone, it's Joe from Ainslie's Gold Silver Standard Insights, brought to you by goldsilverstandard.com and ainslieBullion.com.au. It's TA Tuesday, where I take a look at the price of gold, silver, and one of the cryptos. Today we're looking at XRP, but of course we're going to go straight to gold, then to silver, then back to Ripple. So here we are in gold right here. Let me find it. This is gold on the weekly time frame, priced in US dollars, and we're using the tradingview.com website. Now, I already have my lines and everything drawn in, and last week we were talking about, let me pop that in right here, we were talking about the fact that gold on the weekly time frame was in oversold territory on the relative strength index. If you can see that right here on the bottom right there, in oversold territory. So a potential rally was going to occur, or more likely to occur than if it was in overbought territory. So when you come down to these kind of ranges in oversold, a bottoming out is more likely. And so a rally of some kind is more likely to occur. So we have seen that just recently, and we've come up to, and just a little bit above, a key point here of $1,700. So fantastic if you've been doing some day trading or a little bit of swing trading. If you got down here because you noticed the oversoldness, then well done. Are you taking profits here? Let me know. Or do you think it's going to continue on its merry way up? Or are you just a physical buy, hold, and wait for the day where physical will take over again? It will remove itself from the paper price. Are you one of those? Pop a comment below and let me know your thoughts. But here we are. I'll pop down to the daily. So you can see that beautiful rally in the last few days, particularly in the last 48 hours. But coming off that low of 1615, this is on this particular chart that is, and all the way broken above, and we have yet to pierce below. So it has become an area of support, as you can see. Pop it onto the 4 hourly. Oh yeah, that sort of 1700 mark was a rough guesstimate based on this previous level of support right here. So it's hovering around that area. So I would say so far it's a confirmed level of support. What we would need to see is it break above this level of 1703 and continue up, and I would consider that to be a positive or a confirmed level of support if it breaks above there. And the next level, small level above, is right here. It's $1,715. You'd want to break above there and then have that as support to be confident that we'd be continuing on our merry way up. Some believe that we are going to be continuing up from here. Some believe that this may be just a relief rally while we head down further. I'm not on either fence. I'm just looking at the technicals as they are. If you have a differing opinion in terms of the fundamentals, and a lot of people do, then again, post your comment below and you guys can argue amongst yourselves. That's always a good thing for healthy debate. So let's again pop it out onto the daily, and let's just talk about some prices moving higher. I think I must have gotten rid of those lines previously. So if we are continuing higher, what are some of the next levels of resistance on our merry way up to the all-time high? Of course, I need my horizontal line tool. Very clearly, you can see this previous support level. If you can see that right here and there. So that's around about 1780. I'm going to call it that. Rather than calling it at the 1810 level, I'm going to call it at that 1780 level, roughly 1790 level right there. Previous level of support, previous couple of levels of support right there, if you can see all the way through. So that kind of $1,780 to $1,800 level. Moving higher from there, that 1880 level, I think that's pretty easy for you guys to see. You can see that, a level of resistance, and it's coming even close to this level of support. So you would say a range of 1880 to 1890. So let's just pop it roundabout in the middle. Let's call it around about the 1880 level. Next level of resistance, if we break, or once we eventually do, hopefully, break above that $1,780 to $1,800 level. So 1880, above there, you have got this couple of levels of resistance, or even a level right there. And I would call that at your 1960 level right there. And then you've got the all-time high of 2070, and we've talked about previously the higher sort of blue sky thinking, higher targets, I'll do another sort of larger macro gold price prediction for 2023. That'll come maybe down the track a little bit. So if we're going gangbusters, continuing on our merry way, if this is the gold squeeze and the silver squeeze, if it's happening right now, those are the targets for resistance as we would move higher. And of course, as I've been speaking about, moving lower, if this is just a relief rally and then we continue on our way back down, I think now I can comfortably call this level here of that 1590 I don't think that would be a level of support anymore, because we've come so close to it at 1615. To come back down to 1590 and then that's the big bottom, I don't think that's going to be it anymore. Just, it seems too close. Does that make sense? So I'm going to get rid of that for now. Again, I do a lot of this stuff on the fly, can you tell? So right here, the next level, and I'll pop this out to the weekly. Next level, moving down. Of course, you've got that massive level right here of 1350 all the way down there. But then I would be looking, yeah, right there. You can see it right here of that. Yeah, that's a little bit better of your 1,550, which I've been mentioning before, 1,550, $1,560 level. That's if we are moving back down from here, if this is a relief rally. Again, where do you think it's going? Is this just a temporary bounce, or do you think we're heading up from here? Post your comments below. But those are the targets moving lower and the targets moving higher on the way up to the all-time high. That's gold. What do you think it's going to do in the next week or so? What's your prediction? Post a comment below. All right, let's take a look at silver. This is what a great run. This is similarly on the weekly time frame. We're in oversold territory back in, where are we? Back in middle of July. Although it was not the ultimate bottom. The ultimate bottom recently was at the end of August, and that was at $17.50 in US dollar terms. We're still sort of hovering around the oversold territory right here, but a very clear tick upwards in the last few weeks. And as we were talking about last week, pop this onto the daily, what you can see is we had been talking about staying above this level of 1940. We did not. It was a failed attempt to hold, or a failed attempt to break out. So it was a fast move to the downside, came all the way back down to this level of around about $18.20. A failed attempt to break down further. And oftentimes from a failed move comes a fast move in the opposite direction. That's what we've seen in the last few days. And talk about the silver squeeze, of course, to do with Credit Suisse potentially looking at some issues, let's put it that way, has seen the price of gold and other precious metals, in particular silver, shoot up. And let's take a look at how high we've gone. In the last 24 hours, 48 hours, we have this one green daily candle. That's a 9% move. A 9% move in silver in 24 hours, that's pretty darn good for precious metals. So are you buying? Are you holding? Are you trading? Are you trading in paper only? Are you, do you believe in the physical like we do here at Ainslie Bullion? And we also believe in the tokenized versions of gold and silver as well as part of the Gold Silver Standard. So check out goldsilverstandard.com. Post a comment below. What do you think? So we have broken way up through those key levels, 1880, sailed right through 1940. And here you can see a little level of resistance. Isn't it interesting? These just previous levels of support and resistance become resistance once again. At least this is on the daily time frame. Yep, you can see on the 4-hourly. Is that likely to bust through in the next 4-hour cycle? Quite possible. But what we are looking at here on the relative strength index, pay attention to this always, because we've gone from oversold right here. Here's the bottom at $17.90 on this particular cycle, and then a move all the way through from oversold all the way through the middle to extremely overbought currently, and we are at a resistance level. Now, I am not saying definitely that we are tracking down from here, but just bear it in mind. It's a previous resistance level, and also it hasn't broken through yet, and we are in overbought territory. But you can actually stay in overbought territory for a while. So even if we did break through to the next level of $22, it wouldn't surprise me. But just don't be surprised and don't be shocked if we do have a bit of a relief back down, or a breakdown back down. In the next few hours or 24 hours roughly. It wouldn't surprise me. So keep that in mind. I have my targets moving higher. I'll pop this on the weekly. If you're new to these TA videos, then pause the video right now. So hit the old pause button and you can see my targets moving higher and my targets moving lower. Quickly for the newbies, you've got this one here. So little interim levels of resistance at $22, $23.80, $26, the infamous $26 level, and $30 before. Hey, you know, if we go absolute hog wild, then $35.40, and then up to that sort of all-time high area of your $44 to $50 level. So those are the targets moving higher. If this is a failed attempt to break out above $22, which would be a pretty key level that you want to see it break above and hold, then back down you have $16.20, $14.60. You've got this little interim level here of $11.60, but then these couple of levels, I wouldn't worry about those too much. But keep an eye on these two if we are moving back down, the 1640 and the 1454 levels of support. Where do you think silver is going in the next week and month ahead? Do you think it's a silver squeeze, the real thing, the real deal? Is it happening? Post your comment below. Again, healthy debate is, well, healthy. So that is gold and silver. And lastly, we are going to take a look at XRP. And I want to look at the Bitstamp. Yeah, I'll take a look at the Bitstamp exchange, because this goes all the way back to 2013. Were you in crypto in 2013? I was. I've ridden the waves, and I've made all the mistakes that you know, the regular investors do, etc. I've taken profits too, but you know, big learning lessons from 2013 until now. I've been in XRP sort of on and off. I have a kind of bit of a love-hate relationship with XRP. If you do too, post a comment below. I don't think it's an unusual thing to have a love-hate relationship with it. Of course, we see the big rise back in the heydays of 2017 all the way to $3.20. The low here in, March 2020. What happened then? Oh, what do you know? Of 11 cents. 320 to 11 cents. Goodness. And then a play back up for the all-time high. But what happened there was the SEC coming out saying, we're going to sue the pants off you, XRP, and then blub, 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 all the way back down. So far, a low of around about 30 cents that we've seen. Now, with the potential SRC ruling coming up, and a lot of people believing or very confident that it will rule in XRP's favor, saying that it is not a security. A lot of people think that the price of XRP will shoot up quite high. We'll do some quick Fibonacci in just a second, but I did want to take your attention to, and I'll put a link above to it right now, and I'll put it at the end of the video, a link to Branko from our Ainslie Crypto team. He just did a crypto spotlight on XRP, talking about what he thinks the price predictions will be for XRP if the SRC ruling is favorable, and in particular about one whale who seems to have been buying up quite a lot recently. Are they an insider whale? Do they know something that we don't, or are they just speculating? But check out that link. As I said, I'll put it up here in the top right-hand corner, and it'll come up at the end as well. So XRP, top here, 320, low here recently of 11. Tried that play, and now we're hovering at around about 45 cents. So let's do the blue sky thinking, and I won't do all the targets moving lower. I'll just do if the SRC ruling is favorable for Ripple. Let's see where reasonable price targets could be. So the way I'm going to do that is with a straight Fibonacci play. Take this high from $3.20 and take the March 2020 low of that 11 cents roughly, and we just pop that in the high and the low, and then we have our targets moving higher. And interestingly, XRP seems to fit really well with Fibonacci. I'll get that proper top right there, and I'll get that proper bottom. There we go. So what you'll notice, it's pretty interesting, the old fib, isn't it? What you'll notice here, after coming down to the March low, we come up to a high, and it's sat around the 50% Fibonacci level, the 0.5 Fibonacci level, and that was at $1.70, all the way back down to 50 cents. Back up a couple of resistance levels at the 0.382 Fibonacci level. You can see that there and see that there. That was a failed break higher, so a fast move down to, what do you know, down to this Fibonacci level of 86 cents. another attempt to move higher, a failed move. Oftentimes from a failed move comes a fast move in the opposite direction. And then we came back down to that 50-cent level. What was previous support then became resistance at around about your 85-cent level, and then that breakdown to the 30 cents. So I think personally, if the SRC ruling is favorable for Ripple, you may see these I won't put extra horizontal lines in. I think these Fibonacci levels may act as little bits of resistance along the way. Depends on the velocity of how fast XRP would, shoot to the moon with a favorable XRP ruling. So you have these levels at 80, let's call it 88 cents. I think that makes more sense to me. 88 cents, that $1.30 level, the $1.70 to $2 level right there, and of course the all-time high of $3.20. That would be a level of resistance. I think we would test it, come back down to say the $2 level, and then again, if it's a very favorable and XRP is bullish, then we would continue on our merry way up. And what's a reasonable price target for some decent profit taking for XRP? People are calling like really crazy, predictions, $10,000 XRP and the old meme of $589 XRP. I'm not going to say anything like that. Let's just look at, sort of reasonable fib levels. Of course, the very, very, very reasonable level, in my humble opinion, is the 1.618 level of $5.20. If you want to call it $5 even because of the psychological value of $5, we can do that. That's fine. And look, let's just say the SRC ruling happens by the end of this year. So that's around about here on this horizontal line right there on the crosshairs. That's that's right. So right there. So let's say where the price is from there, I don't know. But then I'd say within, easily within a year's time frame. So by the end of 2024, to see the price at $5 is very reasonable in my opinion, particularly if it's a very favorable ruling from the SEC for XRP. So $5, absolutely, in my opinion, a no-brainer. So that's more than a 10 times from current price of 45 cents. So favorable SRC ruling, once breaking all-time high if it does, hitting $5, no-brainer by the end of 2024, in my opinion. And if we're talking by the end of 2024, it could certainly go higher. The max for me, I shouldn't say max, but the reasonable level for me would be that $5 level or the 2.618 of $8.30. So let's call it that. I'd say somewhere between your $5 to your $8 from here with a favorable XRP ruling. Now, do you differ from me? Do you completely disagree? Do you think the SRC will not rule in XRP's favor? Post a comment below. Do you believe that it's going to go way, way higher? Are you one of the XRP fans that think it's going to go into the thousands, into the four figures, maybe into the five figures? Let me know and give your reasons below. I do want to hear from you. Open to hearing all opinions. So that is gold, silver, and XRP. Of course, I always want you to head over to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Ainslie Bullion, for the wide range of informational videos 5 days a week, including crypto, but a lot of bullion stuff as well. But we're skirting both fences these days. Of course, Ainslie Bullion been around since 1974, but getting into crypto these days, we do sell crypto at ainsliewealth.com.au. You can check that out as well. And of course, go over to goldsilverstandard.com because that's bridging both worlds. That's bringing gold, real physical gold and silver into the digital world. It is tokenized gold and silver. That's really worth checking out at least. Have an open mind about it. All right, that is it. Until next time, take care. And as we always say, balance your wealth in an unbalanced world. We'll see you next time.